want to introduce you guys to Animals IA and Rose. And of course, this lady is like the greatest person ever, if you didn't know it already.
That was a
lot. She is such a hard worker, and she has done wonders with this company. So I'm gonna let the stage for you. So go on.
Thank you. Oh, so now I'm more awake. Thanks for the good introduction. I'm more under pressure, and yeah, I think I can be more passionate. So I am Rose from the startup Animals AI, and in Swedish, I know you pronounce as AI. And one more joke, since we're getting more serious. I don't really like the serious feeling. So in the like animal farming term, AI is actually short for artificial insemination. Yes, so here comes the story. What is Animals AI? What do we do? So we are a company that want to bring interruption to this industry so that help this industry to be more sustainable. We believe that actions are needed, not only awareness. And everyone, especially here in Nordic countries, are quite aware how important it is. But what are the tools? And we want to be part of the solution. And switching back a little bit about how things started. I think, as I just introduced to some of the audience there, we were actually alumni from the pre-incubator upstairs from Venture Lab as alumni of Lund University. And then by then, we're basically AI engineers or AI enthusiasts who are really willing to see how much potential we can do for the rural areas. Because in urban areas, there is so invested, like Sony, Ericsson, they have a lot to say in that area. But rural area-wise, we don't really have that much, especially when we go to farmers. For instance, we go to talk with Vexa, we talk with the high school. How do they really take care of the animals and making their day-to-day operations? Surprisingly, whiteboard, markers, a book that used as Bibles were written as, when your cow look like this, you should take closer look at it for 3 hours and 3 times a day, because it might be, a sign of fertility and you need to do something. So that's how actually very open-minded farmers are using as tools today for management, for operation. And we from the sustainable urban AI sector, we see, is it really necessary to go there, look at a cow, spending 3 hours just looking at them? It sounds really chill for the day before. For instance, we were like at holiday. But now it's like, shouldn't you make your life easier? Especially hearing such stories like, oh, we have this heifer that is first time for pregnant, and its health status is not so good, so we think it might be problem with the first birth. So farmers, what do? They buy civilian camera, offer live streaming function, but set an alarm that wake them up in the middle of the night every 1 hour, so that they will wake up, check the camera, and see, is it going? Oh, it's not. I can chill a bit, and then another one. So life can be much different if we have, for instance, our solutions, AI, that actually interpret those patterns of their cow behaviors, that this mama cow is getting more anxious, is getting ready, or is in process, or even alert farmers that this newborn baby haven't stand up for a while, so you better go and check it to see if there's any problem. Isn't that simple? Think about how the Tesla cars, or maybe in Sweden, Volvo cars, the autonomous driving ones, that can actually read all the traffic signs and alert you when there is a moose passing by. Those technology, when I was working with it, it's like 10 years ago. The technologies are there. So what we are here is to bring it more affordable. And we want to make it the farmer's choice, to buy their own cameras at their own budget. If you really prefer that military look solid thing, other than this less than 1,000 krona, a little bit like cheaper looking, then you can go with it. We want to offer this camera budget to them, their choice. And we only focus on the algorithm part. The algorithm, for me, I'm not the AI engineer, my other co-founder is. For me, it works as an interpreter that just interpret the animal's body language and turn it so that animals actually telling the caretakers, I'm under stress. You should give me another comfort brush. Or, yeah, I'm eager to go to eat, but this feeding pan is empty. So that's more or less our story. Where we are right now, we started in 2019. Until today, we are probably a founder of 3. I'm the one that is not the AI engineer, and we do have a female AI engineer that used to work with academic and European Union with smart city. So she's very come in super handy in bringing all our crazy ideas into actually functional algorithm. And recently, from the beginning of this year, we probably have someone who has such deep, in-depth knowledge of really cow behavior signals from German to join us as third co-founder. And me, I'm just gonna fulfill my value in the startup company where you always need someone who is willing to do more pitches, more presentations, and tell more stories to attract more interns and good AI engineers, for instance, from LT next door. So that is almost the end of my story. We are, if I'm gonna utilize the current wonderful audience target group, I should say some call to action, right? So if you have any farmers, friends, any insights, anything that you're interested, yeah, feel free to come to inspire me. And if you are some tech, from the tech side or from the money side, also talk to me. So that's it. Floor is open, and I think more interaction are encouraged for this.
Thank you so much.